I'm good with this.
I'll just sneak past the fire. Yeah, if you get caught.
He fights them again. Not supposed to do it this way, but here we are. This is a little bit raw, a little bit rough. Everyone knows it's kind of how we like to do it. Ah, here it is. He takes this, he runs up to this fire here, and he takes his bow out, and he dips it in the fire, and it turns it into a fire elemental weapon. Now, the whole entire crowd, including the gentleman sitting next to me, was like, I have so many questions, and I was like, yeah, that doesn't quite seem like a good idea to dip your wood bow in fire. But game mechanic versus realism, we'll all accept it. And my answer to the gentleman next to me was like, magic? Because magic explains everything. But it is a really cool mechanic that you can take normal weapons and just by using environmental effects turn them into actual elemental weapons. So he's actually going to sneak up here. He's going to shoot that jar, which you can see next to the green or the little enemy right here, and it explodes just because he put fire on his weapon, where normally he's an archer who wouldn't have access to a fire ability. So that just opens up so many new dynamics. And like if you have a caster on your screen, you could make down some oil, light it on fire, then like your archer could use it as to do elemental damage. And it's just like really cool combos like that. I'd be curious to see how it works with other elements in the game. But like, I do agree it's a little weird and janky and RPG, and you'd be like, well, wouldn't that destroy the bow? And it's like, yeah, technically it would. And if my DM or any DM I've had so far, if I tried to light my bow on fire to shoot a flaming arrow, I probably wouldn't have a weapon anymore, and the weapon would start to degrade very quickly, and the string wouldn't work. But again, freedom, gameplay mechanics, it's pretty cool nonetheless. There's a few other things that jumped out to me here. I think I already talked about the graphics, where they're just kind of like par on course for this genre. Nothing absolutely amazing, but he shows off. Oh, this is another cool mechanic that we can do this. He actually moved these boxes around. Yeah, he stabs her in the face by accident, and the crowd loved it. It was hilarious. I joked around to the guy next to me. I was like, oh, because he just picked up a new rapier. I was like, oh, he's just teching the rapier straight. It's sharp. It's fine. And we were all giggling and laughing. It was a great time. But you can stack things on top of each other to make stairs to get over things. Later, he actually is in a room covered in floor with fire and, well, oil actually, with fire bolts going everywhere. So if he got hit, the floor would ignite and kill him. And he used boxes to make a path out, and he jumped up on it, and that's how he got out without touching the oil. So it never lit on fire, which is really cool. Right now he's talking about how you can pause the game at any time to do turn-based, and it actually does allow you to do turn-based stuff at any point, and I think he says it's 6 seconds of gameplay go by every time. So there are some NPCs in games that just try to run away, or situations where you would like to be able to get closer without being detected. So this actually lets you use that in a way of, if you're approaching a fight and you know they're going to detect you and immediately trigger that turn-based combat, you could pause it and you have 6 seconds to run in there and ambush them. So you can actually do stealth, non-stealth, just because you're initiating with the turn-based combat, which is really cool. This was also cool. She used her knowledge, just like you would do in D&D, to like be like a perception check. And she discovered that there was a rock there with something underneath it. So then she moved the rock side and there was treasure underneath it. So that's going to open up a ridiculous amount of people searching the whole map, doing those kind of checks everywhere. With all the characters, all the different type of checks, trying to find all those little secrets, which is just more little detail. And you can see how she just jumped off the cliff down there. Amazing. There's tons of 3D level in this game, and he goes to the absolute extreme with the 3D level later here with a feather fall. Let's see if I can find that real quick. He shows it off, and like it is really cool. Like he jumps really far down. Like in a lot of games we're thinking like a cliff. We play these games like, oh, it's like a 20-foot wall, but in the game it's like this. It's like, no, he jumps off like a 150-foot cliff. Oh, I really want to find it. We're gonna find it. I think it's right here. Yes. So here we are. You can see down below, he killed some stuff down there, and now he's way up high. And you just watch him cast feather fall on himself, and he jumps off, and now he's down there. So supposedly these open worlds that they're developing, where in a lot of games it would show that perspective of high up and then looking down, like in Diablo and all that stuff, you wouldn't be able to jump down there. This game, you can. It's pretty damn cool. He talks about that there are some crazy holes like canyons, cliffs and wells and other things that go way down. You can jump in them. Go find out what's down there. See what happens. Because we don't know. Which is just really, really cool to think about and like makes me just really excited for the game. He also shows off some of this dice rolling stuff when you disagree with people. It's just like doing a persuasion in D&D. For those who know, you would roll, see if you succeed. He also talks about and shows that you can actually bring up a screen that shows what's going on behind the scenes. And you can see all the D&D rolls, you can see the math that's being done, you can see exactly why you're hitting that hard, or what they rolled, or why you missed, and all that other stuff, which is really, really cool. Even in combat and everything, it's not this window, but it's like a little chat window that just shows you a log, just like if you've ever played Roll20 and these things. And it's, they also seem to have pretty good personalities in this game. I was just super, super impressed by this game. Because like Divinity and Divinity 2 are so hyped. They're amazing games. They totally took the bar and just like threw it in the roof. They're like, come get us. And it's a labor of love. And Baldurs Gate 3 is the first game I've seen in this genre that was like, oh, okay, you're throwing down a challenge, we gotcha. And they climbed up to that bar, it seems, and they're passing it. That's my assumption and prediction here based on how honest the gameplay I've seen, my previous experience in playing so many different games, watching so many demos, so many trailers, that in this genre this game is going to be a powerhouse. They are doing justice to the name. I agree there's a lot of people that are kind of upset that it's only turn-based combat, but I think it'll work well in this game and I think it's a good thing for it. But I do like turn-based and I do like non-turn-based RPGs like this, so I'm not gonna say I'm biased. It's just I enjoy both. I know there's people that don't enjoy it and are super disappointed, but I think they're do justice to this game. There's also another thing I found really, really cool, which, see if we can find it. He kills all those guys, he goes down below. Oh, and you do get party members, at least 3 he's got, which is another thing I found cool. But he goes downstairs into this crypt. And he does a few things down here. One, he finds undead people, and they're on the ground. Like we know in a bunch of games, you go into rooms, a bunch of skeletons on the ground, and you're like, well, we all know what's gonna happen here. They're gonna raise dead and fight me. But he loots them first, and he throws all their weapons on the ground so they don't have weapons on them anymore. So they raise up unarmed, and they're pretty easy to defeat, which is really cool. He did say that they are going to modify that, so if you do that, they pick up things around them and use them as weapons, which is another really cool aspect. But it's just different little ways to play it. There's full stealth mechanics in this game, so you can play 100% stealthy. There's tons of stuff to loot, as he just showed. If you hold down Alt, you can have a field day if you got that one person that just likes to loot everything. It might be me. I'm a loot whore in video games. It does happen. I'm leaving the UI up again. I don't know why I'm doing that. It is what it is. But you can see his party members are dead. He's not even rezzing them. They're just leaving them there. Like, you can be brutal in this game. And it seems to be very much like an early D&D session where it's like you are in a lot of trouble and like it's hard. But this is the room I was talking about, the fire darts shooting everywhere. It's really, really cool. But he shows that this character's down here in the crypt, and he gets himself in trouble. He gets triggered. I find it. He shows his other character coming down. His other character's already rezzed in this, so I'll find it, guys. Don't worry. Okay, here we are. So now he's upstairs, and he said there's a shortcut, and you can see at the top of this screen there's a little thing up here, and he's shooting it, and it just fell, busted a hole into the ground, created one of those holes that you can go find out what's in it, and he jumped down. So it's kind of like, are they kind of different zoned maps? But it's really, really cool that he's aware they're down there and there's other ways in. It's just a little cool thing where it's like most cases, like, that's the dungeon door, that's how you get in. Why should I waste my time making multiple things? And he also talks about how if you do that, it actually changes the whole dungeon's combat mechanics if you do it before you go in the other door. Like, if all those other people he killed weren't dead and that happens, they all run over, try and figure out what the fuck's going on, and you can't really stealth the dungeon anymore. There's just all these different little things they've showed in this. And again, he just stated that the game is full of tons and tons of secrets. It's huge on exploration, and he says it's impossible to see them all in one playthrough. So this game is going to have some life behind it, hopefully. Again, this is just a demo, but I feel pretty... It's gonna suck if I'm wrong, because like I'm gonna lose some cred here, but I think the game's gonna live up to it. They look like a labor of love. It's going into early access soon. They're really looking for feedback. The whole game's not going to be in early access. Just, well, they said they're going to keep you busy. There'll be plenty of content, but they're still going to save a bunch of stuff for launch. But they want your feedback. They don't know when exactly it's going to be in early launch or in early access, because they're waiting to have a super stable build, so it's not like a total shit show, which I respect, and that's great. Good for them. And they'll release it when it's ready, which I love. I know a lot of people hate the early access, but it's kind of become so common now where it's like, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Like, I own Subnautica Sub-Zero, and I loved Subnautica, the first one, and I haven't even touched it. I'm waiting for it to come out. I'm waiting for it to be a beautiful game. Because why burn yourself on it beforehand? You have those options with this game. I don't know. You can see the stealth mechanic here. They did say they were still working on that, where you can see the field of view of the mob. He also talks about how the actual shadows on the ground, like everything in this game counts. So if you're in light shadow, you're lightly concealed. If you're in super dark shadow, you're like completely concealed and enemies can't see you. I mean, all that kind of stuff. And you can just look at the ground painting. He said it's a little deceiving with this light beam here, so they are working on a system to make it a little bit more noticeable and stuff. It's just really cool. I could ramble on throughout this entire video about just so many little things. All the skills, the combos. He even takes boots out of his inventory and he just hucks them at a mob. He throws boots at him. It's like, why not? Why not throw boots at him? And here he split the party. He goes and talks to him, initiates combat, and then he just shoves that archer off the box and kills him right all the way down. It's like just little things like that. If you know what you're getting into, it brings like that Dark Soul aspect into it. It's like once you know the encounters, they become easier. You can do fun things with them. And you just kind of get better at the game as you go, not just by like increasing their HP and all that stuff. It's just really interesting little mechanics and things like that. This game looks absolutely amazing. I can't say that enough. Like how Divinity and Divinity 2 blew the ceiling off this entire genre. I have a feeling this game's gonna do it too. It's really gonna do Baldur's Gate justice. But either way, everyone, my wife just got home and I haven't seen her in 2 days because I've been at PAX and I don't remember what I was talking about. And I could rant on about this game forever. Those are just a lot of my thoughts and rambling on this. I was talking about how good this game is going to be and just praising it, hoping I don't eat my fucking words. But so far, I'm gonna humble brag, I've been pretty correct on my assumptions when I see things. I've been playing for so long. I have 60,000 plus hours in video games and God knows how many more just watching trailers and videos. You can see jank. You can see jank in games, especially like even minuscule jank, like tiny little nuances you can pick up if you have that much knowledge of stuff. And I don't really see it here. I see bugs. I see blatant bugs. I see blatantly broken stuff that he fesses up to, he owns to, he says they're working on it, he says they're fixing it. And the fact that they're showing that and talking about it gives me faith in them. Compared to other games where they just hide it and then you play it and you're like, the fuck is this? Or you're in beta and it's like a week away and they're just like, meh. And they don't mention it at all. They have no plans. He told us their plans. He told us. So hopefully they do it justice. Hopefully they don't screw everything. Guys, hilarious. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go spend some time with my wife. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I really do appreciate y'all stopping by and watching it. There's gonna be tons more content to come. See me at PAX if you're there. Come say hi. I will do a public post about it. Maybe I'll even share which little things I'm going to. You can maybe see me in line, say hi. Who knows? I will see you guys in the next video. Dig fit. Have been enjoying PAX. I know I talked a lot about D&D. I know that this game is very D&D related, but I had never played D&D, paper D&D. I've played D&D-ish games on Roll20 and online, but I played it for the first time at PAX, and I loved it. I spent about 8 hours so far at PAX playing D&D. I was there till 12:20. I'd been up for 25 hours, and I was still playing D&D when security came around and kicked us all out. They kicked us out. Damn it. I beat that level 5. In the little PAX D&D universe they have, mission number 5. We beat it. Damn hard. I'll see you.